Okay, so this is the build. Pretty cheap here, 267,000. I've taken level 4 armor here. Obviously going to be trying to engage with players from further away, as well as completing these quests too. That's kind of the main focus of the raid. I don't feel like I need to kit up super heavy on the armor front. The goal is not to kind of get too involved with close quarters or anything. That being said, it could happen, but we'll see how it goes. I do have the pistol as a backup for close range. One, to deal with scabs a little bit more silently and quickly using 0.45 AP. And then I'm running LPS ammo, which is a level 4 ammo. It's got decent penetration and good base damage too. I've got about 520 health points to heal, as well as a regen stim, which will give us a bunch too. Some painkillers in my bark, spare ammo, surgical kit, and then grenades, smoke, a Molotov, which I just happened to get off something, a scav on the last raid, so I may as well just take it in anyway. And then some bandages too. Energy drink, you could take more, don't feel the need to. And then I'm going to just do some juice and biscuit. I generally run water, but I just had it from last raid anyway, so just going to take it in, as well as an endurance stim to kind of help us get around the map quicker. You could also take more endurances, more e-drinks, as well as more healing if you feel like you wanted to, but I feel like this is sufficient enough to try and make a little bit of profit and get some missions done. This is the build so far. I have the suppressor. I've chosen this one because it gives us a little bit more ergonomics. In terms of recoil, the gun kicks like crazy anyway, so recoil can help a little bit with keeping the target in your sight if you're still looking through the scope. However, some of the ergonomics I have found just kind of help make sure you can get that shot slightly quicker, and obviously staying silent will just allow us to get these missions done a little bit more discreetly. I'm actually going to run the 1x4 scope on this. I kind of like the original Mosin scope too. I feel like it's just like a little bit more classic feel in terms of using the Mosin, but I've been wanting to try the 1x4 as well, so we're going to do that. Don't forget to chuck on this butt pad. As you can see, it gives us some pretty good stats there on the recoil and the ergonomics too, so whack that on as well. I'll put the link for the build code in the description. Enjoy. All right, so we've spawned at the north side of the map here. There'll be us teams kind of spawning on that far side. What I'm going to do, I don't know if there is a spawn by small hole. Probably not. Bolts. Check this quick. Generally, the middle of the map isn't too contested immediately. One more jacket. Sniper scav. Guy. Okay. Shots at the loading area. So what we're going to do here is going to move up to small hall, see if we can get that case again. Notice how I'm kind of just moving between the trees here, trying to use them to cover my body as much as possible. Shotgun might come in handy. Let's take a hunting vest for now. So if someone spawned on the far side here, they might be running up to or in small hall already. What I'm gonna do, yeah. Okay, so we know that there's a good view down the main entrance to Small Hall. So what I'm gonna do is shift down here. It's a little bit annoying. It's giving away our position now too. Just gonna do this while we walk. Make sure we reload. Okay. I'm gonna try and get in this depression here. Try and get some view inside. Okay, they've come out. One. The other one was higher up here. So what I'm actually going to do, reload while we move, try to keep some cover between you. He was much higher up on the bank there. And he also had the helmet on. Maybe he dropped down. There he is. Okay, what we're gonna do here is heal. Trouble here. Yep. Damn. Oh well, it happens. Yeah, the other, I don't know if that was a third teammate, but someone was pushing up on the right there. I preferably didn't want to have to deal with that person on the right, but that's okay. All right, let's lock it in, boys. Okay, we got a guaranteed spawn, so there's always someone who spawns here, which is us. There's a potential spawn ahead here, and a potential spawn on the far side too. So, because of our location here, don't see any movement, don't hear anything. Because we're sniping, we want to kind of just move a little slower here. That's definitely a scab. What I'm going to do is make my way around towards graveyard here. Okay, so that scav has seen someone. So he seems to be inside here. I'm actually going to change my plan. I'm going to move over this way. And he's probably gonna come out onto this ledge. second here. We should be able to get him. That's a bit of a too small of a gap here. A better angle. I'm gonna move a little bit further back so we don't get barrel block on the wall, which is something you need to be aware of. It might be okay. Note here, I'm kind of standing in the open, but I am listening for any movement down this way. Come on. Okay, so nothing yet. What I'm going to do here, my mission is to head up towards the top portion of the map and look around at the small hall. So what I'm going to do is make my way over there. So as you're moving around, just try and think about the sight lines that someone would have on you as you move. So obviously here I'm exposed to straight ahead. You can hear some firing down here. So instead of walking in the middle here, what I could do is just close off the angle on the left here by hugging the wall slightly. And now as I come through, this whole section is going to open. So I'm quite exposed here, right? And I want to be kind of looking for anything that's kind of misaligned. Here I'm quite exposed, so I'd rather want to kind of get into the brush or into a little bit of a depression in the ground so that I'm not as visible from that right-hand side. Like here, this depression through the map is just going to allow me to not be visible from that side there. Okay, we've got someone in here opening the chest. Maybe they'll take a little peek out the window. And they sure did. Headshot on him. He might have friends. This has been looted. So this is all new area on the farm map, which is pretty awesome. Okay, I don't see anything. Just waiting briefly here. If he has a teammate, that teammate might try to reposition and look over this way, giving himself away, but doesn't look like it right now. So as I push here, I'm going to move down towards this wall. I'm going to use try and use audio here as a cue. I don't want to wait too long either. Okay, just going to get the pistol out here. Could be holding an angle out the back. I haven't heard anything yet. This is a very exposed spot. Okay. Doesn't seem like anyone is around. We'll take his stuff. Local bank rob. Thanks, bud. Take these. Okay, he didn't really have anything. He did open the safe for us, which is nice. Just allow us to not make a noise. And not much. Check this case here. Hose, sure, why not? And then what I'm going to do before we jump out here, let's just have a little look. This area at the back is obviously way more, you know, exposed than it used to be. And then we're going to make our way back over to the trees here. And I'm choosing to walk here because I'll be able to hear someone sprinting. Generally in these areas, players like to sprint. And that'll just hopefully give us an advantage to get onto them first. Notice how this section in front of me is extremely exposed. So I'm actually going to dip over to the left here. That way I have this little ridge right next to me to deal with anyone who comes over on this side. So this is the small hall area, new area. Quite like how they've opened up the channels and the lanes on this map. It's not completely compressed through the middle. Have a little look behind just in case. And focus on ahead here. So this is essentially the left channel. Where... Okay, it's just a scav. Where players can... Where players can come and explore a free safe here, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming that safe's going to be done already. But potentially not, because there's still a scav here. It's an odd bushes sound. Get inside quick. Yeah, I'm looking down here. Put this right in front so they have less of a shot on you. A video recorder. We shall squeeze that in. Yeah, we made a noise here, so if anyone's nearby, they might come and investigate. What we will do is quickly loot. I am going to repack this so that I can deal with any close range stuff. Again, I've put this video camera in my bag here. I'm not going to stand too close to that wall window either, because someone might be able to see my head. And then what I'm going to do is tap this while I loot these last two. Bracelet. Holy loot. Okay. Don't hear anything yet. Cash, Esther. Alright. Check the surroundings before we leave. No movement. No sound. There's a weapons crate in here. Gonna check this. They've been pretty good recently, actually. Just quickly use this. Okay, so in a built-up area like this, you are relatively covered by these walls and fences, and it's kind of easier to kind of do this kind of thing when you're drinking or restocking, repacking. As we move out here, it's going to open up. Note how I'm looking to the right here just to make sure that no one just happens to see me exiting, because once we get into this region, if anyone does see me exit, they'd be able to run up behind me and get a pretty clear shot on me. And I'm just going to think about how I place my body near trees and not spend too much time in the open. Look behind, make sure no one's like coming out to peek and get a shot on us. And then with these trees kind of more condensed behind us like this, it'll be harder for someone to notice us now, so we can just kind of focus on what's ahead. It's quite exposed, so I'm going to lay down. Holy moly, what is that? That is terrible. Oh yeah. Drink this. Check behind. Check in front. Okay, keep moving. I'm gonna double check my exits here. So we have this exit over here in the corner. Was that a quest? I think it was. Oh yeah. Quickly gonna loot this because it's part of a quest that I need to do. Just looking for any movement, any silhouettes that kind of break the natural features of the game. Obviously there's the scav. Loot this. $200 around, not bad. Alright. Okay, we got that quest done, that's cool. I think it's a portion of a quest. In this raid, we are not going to go into motel because we decided to come and see the small hall and chat about how to use some of these depressions and ridges to help us move through the map. Yeah, everything seems pretty quiet here, so we can probably keep moving here up towards the extraction and then run it back again to go and do the bottom half. So I think the key points here are thinking about the obstacles you're placing between yourself and the enemy with a sniper, and that'll just allow you to move a little bit more methodically through the map so that you can protect yourself without getting into too much trouble and ultimately get a successful raid. You know, 1 kill, nothing crazy, but we did manage to eliminate someone and, you know, just take another threat out of the map, allowing us to essentially control this north side of the map and come out with almost 700,000 in that raid. So pretty lucky on the looting aspect up there, but it just shows you you just got to loot as much as you can, right? Here's the map. This shows us our movements. Kind of hung around at the start here, just making sure that to see if we could get a pick on that guy as a sniper. Running into the building with a sniper is just not the type of gameplay style that you're going to be doing if you're running them. Here we killed that player, went in, looted him, went to the small hall, and then ended up passing all the way through to the extract. So pretty clean raid there. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.